Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be back
Yeah.
and good to see you, Matthew. We have some fun news to share. And I guess the title for this podcast is Website in Minutes.
Mhm.
And I think people might assume it's clickbait. What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah. But it is something I click on because, yeah, usually websites, it used to be websites were months and weeks. At least they're down to hours at this point, but minutes is a step above. So,
All right, so let me give you the story.
mhm.
So you can share my screen.
Okay.
I This website here is called semdom.org, and basically um, it is the semantic domains that Ron Moe came up with, and I've been hosting this website that runs on Drupal for
Mhm.
probably 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a it's a good site. Um, it's got It's got a lot of references here. All of the 1,800 semantic domains are in here, and you can kind of click on them and it pulls up the domain. You pick a subdomain, and it's basically to help you find words to build a dictionary with.
Yeah.
So instead of, yeah,
So we used to have a situation where people would just kind of be sitting around. They're like, okay, what word should I add to my dictionary? And they come up with one. They're like, nope, I already have that one. What about this one? Nope, I already have that one. And so sometimes you discover it as you're working through, but the goal with semantic domains is it's 1,800 questions that ask you about all the different things that are around in your environment and in the sky and in buildings and whatever the case is. There are domains that most people will relate to, and they will have a word for those things. So, like, what sort of things do you use in the kitchen? What are some words that have to do with cooking or heating things? And then the idea is, instead of just translating a list of words like you would do with or other word lists, the idea is that you're going to come up with, oh, these are the things that I have. You're going to come up with those words. And the other part of it is, typically you do this sort of research with a big group over the
Mhm.
course of a week or so that you're not just getting one or two people's inputs, you're getting input from dozens. Uh, yep. Okay.
So, and people assume like, well, when you build a dictionary, what do you do? Start with A. Aardvark. It doesn't work that
Yeah.
way. The brain doesn't function on alphabetical lines. It functions on topical lines. And
Yes.
that's why this is a whole series of topics that allow you to think in those domains. And that's how our brains function.
Hmm.
And so it's much easier to collect the words. So we've had this site up here for a long time, but it's running on Drupal 7. And Drupal 7 reached end of life. And the upgrade path to get to Drupal 10 or 11 now
Hmm.
is just a really difficult process for me, at
Yep.
least. And I've been putting it off and dreading it. And I was thinking, what if there's a way to build this site easily? I think Matthew, you're the one that pointed me in the direction of Fieldworks,
Hmm.
because you told me that Fieldworks has an XML file in the directory that contains all the semantic domains.
Yep.
So can you show that in Fieldworks?
Yep. So, yeah, I'm not actually going to show the XML file, but yeah, this is those same questions here inside Fieldworks. And so we have the person, and then all the different sub things and the questions. And it's actually not just the English here. There are actually translations in French and Spanish and a few other languages of all or most of these questions. But yeah, so it's something that has been built into Fieldworks. It was built into an older tool called WeSay, that when you want to go and do a semantic domain collection, you've got it right there. So most people aren't going through the site, but it's great to have the site as a reference.
Yeah. So going back to my website that I set up initially, I did it in Drupal 6, and Drupal 6 reached end of life, and we ended up, I think we paid a couple $1,000s to a company to do the upgrade to Drupal 7 for us. Okay. And so this is part of the thing that I'm envisioning now is like, oh no, we're gonna have to like pay more money to upgrade this.
Yeah.
So when Google Fable, I'm sorry, not Google, when Claude Fable became available again yesterday, I thought, you know, I like to save my big problems for Fable. So I said, let's just do planning. So let me show you the planning process here. So the environment is in VS Code. And so I've got a directory here, and I started with a blank directory with only one file in it. And that file is this one right here, semdom.xml.
Yep.
So this is the same file that you were showing, Matthew.
The source, at least, for what you were just saying, yeah.
And so that's got all the data in it. So all we really need is a friendly display. So just take a look at the prompt here. I just wrote, and I said, I have a Drupal site.
Maybe you can make that a little bigger. Control plus.
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
So I have a Drupal site that needs to be replaced. The content is as simple as it can be. It's entirely based on an older version of semdom.xml, and I linked to the actual file. And so I said, I would imagine that it would be extremely simple to build a website, except that it would be much better to use some sort of existing framework that can build the site around the XML file using an existing but very light CMS. And I didn't know what CMS I would use. And
content management system.
Yeah.
In this case.
So I just asked for its advice. And so basically, I sent it off. It came back, and it's like, okay, well, I would recommend these. And one of them was GitHub Pages. I'm like, okay, I know GitHub Pages. I've been working in GitHub. Let's try that. And so it used something else on top of GitHub Pages.
Probably Flask, most likely.
Yeah. Could be. Right now, I can't show that because it says show less. There we go.
There you go, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know exactly. Here goes. Scaffold Astro.
Astro, okay.
So use Astro. So anyway, it created the whole process of what it was going to do to create this website from the pages. And then as soon as it got done with its planning phase, I hit escape because it wanted to know. It's like, okay, I'm ready to build it. I hit escape and canceled it. And then I went and I switched the model. And I think I switched it to Sonnet, which is kind of the everyday basic one. And so I had it start building the site with Sonnet, and it just cranked and cranked and cranked away. And I don't have version 1 of the site to show you, but even version 1 of the site just kind of blew me away. It had everything it needed to. It just, the menu structure was there, and it was just black and white, kind of ugly. So then the second prompt that I gave it, okay, so the second prompt that I gave it was this one here. Just say, can you take a hint from SIL.org for the colors and SIL logo?
All right.
And also implement some modern techniques for the sidebar and hover techniques. And then I just gave it some specific changes to the menu and things like that. And so it went away. And now I want to show you what it came up with. So
I love how all the contents are just they're just content comments. They're not actually like, hey, use this framework or use this whatever. It's just This is what I want it
So
to
here,
look like. This is what I want it to do.
here's the new site that it built. Okay, so it's
Can you
got
zoom
the
in?
home page. It's got other pages that were our introductory pages, and then the browse domains page. So you go here,
Okay.
and you've got all the domains and subdomains like that. And if I go to any one of these, it's got
Nice.
this nice menu on the side that hovers. And if you want to do any searching, so we'll search for bear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we want the carnivore kind. So we go here to this page, and there it is. So like search is instant. It doesn't, this is all just based on an XML file plus data that it was able to scrape from the other website. And I'm ready to go live with it.
Are you going to make it multilingual? You might as well pull in the French and the Spanish and the others and make those toggle.
So I didn't realize that the other languages were in that XML file, or I would have, but it is actually a question that Fable asked me when I was doing it. Said, hey, would you like to make this multilingual from the get-go or save that for a later step?
Yeah.
And since it indicated that it wouldn't be difficult to add it later, I decided to add it later and just go for this.
Yeah. There's a possibility that they're not actually in that file, but I know they're available somewhere. So very cool.
So,
so now all you have to do is do your DNS.
Big monkey off my back, because I've needed to upgrade this website. I've known about it for the last 2-3 years, and now just in a less than an hour's time, I've got this whole new website up, and I just need to point the URL now to GitHub Pages, and then it will take over for the old one at semdom.org, and it's free. I don't understand how GitHub does that.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot with GitHub Pages, especially if it's not a very dynamic website. If it's just a lot of text files and things like that, it works very, very well. For resumes and documentation, we had the paratext documentation or manual lived on GitHub Pages for quite a while.
So and it even copied the bibliography page, did a really good job of it too. Just nice formatting and everything. So this website gets a lot of hits from people doing like research for different projects, looking up terms and finding out similar terms. So I'm not all sure how people are using it, but we wanted this to be the authoritative site so that if you look up based on the URL, you can see each domain has a specific URL, version 4/2. So domain 2 is person, and it's got a permanent URL that will never change.
That's nice.
So
yeah, because we want to have you want to be able to look back at version 4, and when there is a version 5 or 6, it doesn't change that often, but it can. So that's great. That's exciting.
So that's all we have for today. It's right before 4th of July weekend. So we wish you all a happy 4th.
Yep. And I will say enjoy Fable while it's still available in your subscriptions for the next 5 days. After that, it apparently is going to API credit only, which means it will be much more expensive to use, but still there. And if you need it in a pinch. So.
Yep. So I got to do all my heavy duty planning in the next week.
Yep. Excellent. All right. When we're trying to get away and be hanging out with family. Lovely timing. Thank you, Anthropic.
All right. Thanks, Matthew.
Have a good day.
See you all next time. Bye.